What's up, guys? Welcome to another night of spoilers. I was about to call it the last night, but we don't know that. Welcome to another night of spoilers. 8 cards to go through, some interesting stuff that we're going to take a look at, and also make sure to visit Happy Little Hug Factory. They have a link in the description below where you can pre-order the next set, $80. I don't know how many they have left in stock, but head over there, pick up one at least, or maybe 2 you want a promo.
Yeah.
And anything else? That's it, right?
Yeah, should jump into it.
Sorry
if my dogs are loud.
Calling Joey me?
Huh?
Yeah, calling Joey at you.
Mm-hmm.
First up is Shiva God of Destruction, which is a 5-cost, 2 void, 2 green, 1 red, 8/8 high god. At the beginning of the game, you may reveal this card from outside the game and keep it revealed until end of game. Rest 3 recovered BB tribes you control. If this card is revealed outside the game and you control 1 magic stone and a fire magic stone, put this card into the field. Play this ability only during your main phase. Enter. Destroy 3 other J resonators at random. Whenever this card destroys a resonator, put a 1/1 counter on this card equal to the destroyed resonator's total cost. So this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think it can be solid, but I also think it's a little, it's really random. Looks pretty, like, she looks pretty strong. Maybe you can get, to that spot, but I'm not a huge fan.
The only thing against it is when it comes in, it can destroy stuff on your field, and it's at random. So since you have to rest 3 things to bring this in, it could theoretically destroy all 3 things that brought it in on your field. You'll get counters, so at least you'll get some value out of it, but that still could potentially suck. And it doesn't get counters from destroying a J ruler. However, it doesn't hurt if you put in one of these or a couple of these in your side deck, just so it's revealed as an option.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt you. So I think it's really cool in that regard.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool concept too, to flip it over in your removed area and you can play it almost at any time.
Right, and it could also be it's just a nice. I'm kind of seeing where Colin's coming from, where it's just a nice card just to throw in your extra deck, or you're not
Sideboard.
Yeah. Sideboard, and let's say your opponent board wipes something, or not board wipe because this would die. But let's say she tries to target 2 of your resonators, right? You can rest them in response, bring this in, and now those 2 will die, and then her ability will go off, and it's that's pretty cool that you have those kind of options. Otherwise, it just feels like you have her, right? You rest your 3 recovered. You rest your 3 recovered Mimi tribes, which could actually be pretty good. I know there's a cat resonator that brings in a cat token, so that's already 2 for one will.
What?
There's a cat Mimi tribe. When
it
it enters, you put another cat in the a 1/1 cat token. Although that's a cat, it's not a Mimi tribe, is it?
Yeah, I was about to ask if that was a Mimi tribe.
Right, it's not a Mimi tribe.
Anyways, but what thing I was thinking of, I don't know if there is any, but if there's a Mimi tribe that says banish buff something +4/+4, you could rest those, bring this out, and in response to that, or you banish it to buff this or something else, so that you can guarantee a target to your opponent in addition to getting some sort of effect if they have a banish effect. I think banish resonators, if they let me look up real quick to see, but that would be
there's Mimi resonators with Eternal too, right? So that would I'm pretty sure what's her name?
Yeah, but then she wouldn't get counters, which kind of sucks.
But I mean, I feel like the point is bringing her in kind of for free, and I imagine you also want to hit your opponent, so it's kind of
you're thinking of Berserker Chimimi gains Eternal during your turn.
I mean, I think there's one other one, but I'm not entirely sure. My other thinking is that just my first thoughts.
There's a 1-cost Chimimi that banish buff target resonator +4/+4, so that could actually be a really good combo if you can give Shiva swiftness. Continue.
Yeah, and it's just with the base card, what you're gonna have 3 cards. You're gonna have 3 resonators out. If they don't have as many resonators as you, then you're more likely to kill your own stuff. if they have more resonators than you, then it could be pretty good. And if they have the same, then I think it's really risky. But yeah.
I think it's interesting, and I haven't gone to this place in a really long time for spoilers. Matter of fact, I don't think we've played a game like this recently. But in Epic Stories, it could be pretty good because you think about it, like it says 3 Mimi tribes. Your Mimi tribe could be your ruler, while all like and 2 resonators. You know what I'm saying? And it could be your removed area, so you can guarantee it into play. So it's like tapping 3 just to get this in. And like,
I didn't know.
Whole field of like 4, depending on how many people you're playing with, like 4 people that you're playing with, you have some odds of not hitting your own boobs in that situation.
Right.
And as of right now, that 1 cost is the only Mimi tribe banish.
Yeah.
In the game.
2 questions. First one, I didn't realize that. Well, not really a question, but I didn't realize that that your ruler would also be a Mimi tribe. That's really I didn't connect. The other thing is, can you have a sideboard in Epic Stories?
Yeah, Epic Stories has sideboards. The side process is actually you sit down and reveal your rulers, and everybody has a chance to sideboard at the time, and then you play. It just seems very try hard to have in a fun format to do something like that. So
yeah,
I've never actually built a sideboard, but to have one with this now, which I'm really curious on the rules now because like it's ruled to the main deck 1-ofs. Could you have like 4 of these?
I don't think
sideboard now.
Probably not, but that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, I think this potentially, like, this in combination with that 1 drop with the banish and obviously your ruler is Shimimi, I think this could actually potentially see some play. It would come down to those magic stone requirement would be the biggest thing then after that.
I think you'll see play. My opinion on the card overall is just like it's not super duper good, but it's good.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's solid.
Yeah.
Flavors. Me, shut up already.
Okay. Next card is Wrath of the Flame God, Divinity 2, Chant/Rune. If you control Genshi
How much does it
Tenzin,
cost?
God of Flame. 4 cost?
Thank you.
Didn't I say all
No.
red? I said that, I thought.
No.
Didn't?
I didn't hear it.
I thought I did. Anyways, if you control Genshi Tenzin, God of Flame, you may pay 1 red less, an additional red less for each different kind among all dragon emblem you control to play this card. Destroy target non-magic stone entity.
So, did you guys want to bounce to Genshi real quick before?
No, because that wouldn't make any sense, Oscar.
I know.
That wouldn't make any sense. Yeah.
No, because then
just get
that
there
specifically I would have to edit. If it was the next card after this, then maybe.
Oh, we couldn't just tap over a few times and tap back?
It'd be annoying.
No.
Sorry,
It's
guys.
fine. We'll get there when we get
Colin
there.
thinks it's annoying to be convenient.
Anyways, Dragon Emblem is what this comes down to. How consistent you
I
can
wonder
get.
how we get dragon emblems. That'd be interesting.
We only know of 1 card that gives you Dragon Emblems, kind of, but can't be the only way. So it would depend on the consistency of getting Dragon Emblems. But there is 3 different kinds. So this potentially is a free card that destroys J rulers or anything except for a Magic Stone, essentially.
Yeah.
Which
I actually think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and you don't have to. It doesn't gain less for being in your rune areas, so you can just main deck this and just whenever you need to, just like for free, just kill something. Like that's.
Wish
that's
we could
dead.
see who Genshi was and what he
Yeah.
did. How many?
Or how to get more dragon emblems. That'd be interesting.
Anyways, next spoiler season, Oscar's editing this. Everyone, he just volunteered.
Super easy. I did the other day.
We should get. We should the next one.
Yes, with your unbalanced audio,
great
get out
flavor.
of here.
Oh, flavor. It's probably something like a dragon's flame is unrelenting. Pretty cool.
Oscar.
Who is that? Is that Genshi in the picture? It's actually super cool.
I mean, if we knew what he looked like, that might be him.
That's probably him. That looks awesome. Anyways.
Next up is Nyarlathotep, God Devouring Messiah. 1 red, 1 white, and she's a 10/2. Resident Cthulhu High God, Awakening X, enter, put X Fire Moon Edition tokens into the field. And then you can banish a Moon Edition, prevent the next damage that would be dealt to this card this turn. Banish a Moon Edition, this card deals 800 damage to target J/Resonator. And banish 9 Moon Editions, this card gains plus 4,000 in Pierce until end of turn. And this card gains Precision and Swiftness as long as you control a Moon Edition.
So, I think this obviously combos with this is the requirement for the other cards we had seen for ISIS when they had mentioned Nyarlathotep. It's this card. So it's cool to see that finally. I like this. Roderick pointed out in the comments. It's the same stat line as Scarlet, the Crimson, the J Ruler. But I think this is potentially super good, because I think the cards we've seen already show there's a consistent input potentially of these additions that produce will, and she has an awakening to put additions and produce will, so you can tap those additions not only to play her since they produce red and yellow, but also to pay her awakening to get in more additions. And her effects are all banishing, not tapping, so you can tap those for will and banish them and already get her different effects. Mainly, if you have 10 additions, then you banish 9 of them to give her effect, and you have 1 in the field, so she retains that swiftness ability, so she can swing in right away with 4,000 and pierce into your opponent, potentially for a game-winning swing.
You could also swing in, and then after they declare no blockers, if they declare no blockers, you can banish that, so that like the swiftness doesn't really matter because you just banish all 9 of your strokes. But no, we had a long discussion on whether or not the plus 4,000 is like too many like eggs in one basket, or if it's like a viable thing. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the 800 damage that she can do, and I'm also a huge fan of like awakening, like putting her in, tapping all your moon additions for her awakening, and you get the same amount of moon additions, and they're all online, assuming you have Isis. Like you're literally just paying 2, awakening her for X, and the X amount of moon additions are all able to be tapped for mana the minute it comes down. So
I mean, can you imagine even just like playing Isis to search this card to your hand to make a moon, and then tapping the moons before they destroy Isis for the will, so the will's at least floating.
Yeah, exactly.
Play that for the X.
And like, if you have 1 more will, like you pretty much get to play Nyar. Like you play Isis, you grab Nyar, you tap two moons, and then you get the player. And
if you have like 3 Nars in hand, you're basically just creating an infinite cycle of
it would be really nice. Like, I would love to see, like, my thing is like 9 moons isn't that bad to get to if you have Nyarlathotep. Like, let's say you have 4 extra moons, or like 4 extra moons and 2 extra mana. Like, you can play her awakening for X, and then get 4 more of those, and then tap those for like another Nyarlathotep or another like moon edition. Like, it's really easy to make mana, but it all, like, the crux of it is all Isis. Like, she has to survive and be able to produce that mana. But
yeah, I guess for the will production, Isis has to be on there. But it's cool because this gives them also other effects they can do in case Isis is not on the field. You have other things besides Isis to make those additions useful. And both with the destruction, you can, and letting her survive if someone tries to deal 200 damage to it. In response, you can just banish additions so that she doesn't die. You're running an Isis deck that's going to be red and do damage and stuff like that. So, like, you don't have to rely on that 4,000 pierce, but that's super easy to do and super easy just to be like, oh, by the way, I just win now. I win. Unless you... Because can Lorite stop the banished 9 moon additions? That's not a...
no, but I think he can stop the resulting ability. So it's I think it's...
not the banish, but the ability. Because that's the cost. Can he stop this card gains?
It's an activate ability.
Okay.
No, the cool thing about it, the thing I like the most about it is like the swiftness, and like I feel like putting her into like aggro shells is like actually going to be really good, especially because she creates more. Like, she has the ability to create more Fire Moon Edition tokens that'll give you more will, and then and then you'll be able to use that will for like other 1 and 2 costs, like quick swiftness resonators.
Yeah.
But
no, this could get like pretty nasty. Might be able to be staved off because of Lorite, but especially post rotation, I think this might be the sleeper giant deck, like big deck.
Sleeper giant, huh?
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Like the fact that it has will production, it has a secondary win con inside of an already strong red deck has the other cards. It's able to produce light easily inside of a monocolor format. All these different things, I think, in addition to the ISIS stuff, will be really good.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool stuff. I'm not sure how super good it would be, but the flavor here is returning from chaos to Messiah of balance.
Okay. Next up, we got Light of Karanos, 3-cost Divinity 3 Chance/Rune. You may pay 2 Voidless to play this card if you control Alice Zeus Incarnate, which is the 3-cost that has every race in the game. Discard, which we still haven't had spoiled in English. Discard any number of cards. This card deals X 100 damage divided as you choose to any number of J resonators, where X is equal to the combined total cost of cards discarded this way. Then draw cards equal to the number of cards discarded this way.
Yeah.
I think this is super strong.
Those cards back. Huh? Yeah. I agree. This is pretty awesome.
Oscar, you have some thoughts?
Yeah, I was saying, it'll be funny is that dragon in the background being on a card. It's actually exactly as it is right there on the card. I thought it was funny.
But
really
super funny. Yeah.
So Oscar had a conversation with me where he thought the card was really good as well. It's basically this is something that he was saying. I hate that I have to talk for Oscar every time. He was saying, like, especially specifically in his Brunhild deck and stuff like that, being able to filter out the cards in his hand, because sometimes he gets stuck with cards that aren't very good. Suddenly he remembers. He never.
Yeah, because I was focused on that dragon. I didn't even hear what you were saying before. You just let me talk, and I started talking. I was saying, like, with Brunhild, there's sometimes certain cards that are in your hand that you wish you could just remove and draw some things in place of it. Sometimes you get to a messenger, and messenger's really good, but sometimes you just don't need to play it. You don't need like 3 messengers in play. Or it's later in the game and you want to ease up on your drawing or whatever it may be. There's sometimes where a messenger or whatever card you have, just if there's no use for it anymore. Or I go against a panda deck that has a lot of barrier, and my volleys or my blades are useless because I can't target. So it's like, man, I wish I could filter some of these targeting cards out and draw some stuff that's like some resonators. So this is a good card to be able to toss those cards, to deal some damage, and then draw them back in place.
Well, even outside of that, it kind of along those lines, but like when you're playing against someone, and even if you have good cards, but you need one specific type of card, and you just need to burn through your deck and get through that as quickly as possible to either prevent yourself from losing or to get a really quick and early win. Just the ability, like if you gave me a card that was 1 cost, discard your hand, draw that many cards, that's super good. I think that alone is like really good. Being able to filter in a card game, I think, is a really strong mechanic, especially in this set where they're introducing graveyard mechanics. But the fact that in addition to that, you're dealing potentially a crap ton of damage if you have a bunch of 3 costs and 2 costs. Say you have a card of 5 hands, an average hand size or whatever, and they're all 2 costs. That's 1,000 damage you're dealing to either like their J ruler, which kills most J rulers. So you could potentially for 1 cost kill a J ruler and then draw 5 cards essentially. So there's some really strong plays in addition to the super strong filtering. I think this card is really, really strong, and it also works in tandem with being able to populate your graveyard with the necessary mechanisms to put Dark Alice and Alice Zeus Incarnate online with those requirements in the graveyard site. We'll have to see, but I feel like this is borderline too strong. But
I think it's pretty insane, but I don't think it's too strong.
I don't think it's super duper strong because of the fact that like I need Alice in play to make it the 2 less. If not, it's 3. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play it for 3, and then to figure out if I have room in the rune deck for it, or if I would rather run it as just a chant in my hand.
I would totally play this in the rune deck.
I mean, World Tree Summoning was 2, and it didn't. And yeah, it kind of recovered the stones or whatever, but that didn't always happen because of the format back then. But it was 2, and it was a similar theme, but this is 1 more. For 1 more, being able to deal damage, and for only 1 of that cost to be locked to a will and the rest to be void, and potentially it being 1.
Tree Summoning? Is it the one with Alice on the front of it?
It had the tree on it. You paid to put the cards at the bottom of your deck, I believe, and then draw.
I think that was better though. Put them back into the deck and then draw off the top of it. It's better than just.
I think it's different
because you have Dark Alice and Alice Zeus Incarnate, so you want them in the graveyard, and plus we have.
I want them in the graveyard.
You also have
build your
Brunhild,
deck
which
around
brings out, you can pay 1 for this, bring out a discard a Misty or whatever the flavorful new person is to bring out for like 500 damage. See, my thing is, the reason I don't think this is going to be insanely good is because the combined total cost of cards is going to be a lot, and if you don't want to just dump your hand and be like, I don't need the Spear of the Valkyrie, I don't need like Blade of Faith. It's like,
no, it's discard any number of cards. You don't have to dump your entire hand. It's your choice.
Right, I know, but like you don't want to. I just feel like the average cost of the cards you're going to be trying to discard is going to be like 7 or 8. Like, I don't feel like it's going to be an entire board wipe. I feel like it could kill like 1, maybe 2 resonators.
I never said it was a board wipe. I said this could potentially kill a J-Ruler. But yeah, paying 3 or potentially paying 1 to kill 1 thing and filter any cards you want into the graveyard to meet the requirements of Alice or anything else, or meet some sort of Brunhild requirement, or keep fueling your graveyard so that Mistletoe keeps firing off with her ability, different things like that, and then drawing an equal number of cards, I think is really strong.
I agree. I think that's where all the power is going to come from this card, is the filter ability and
especially
the ability to load up your graveyard for Alice.
Yeah, especially Oscar scenario because that happens to me a lot, where I'm playing with my deck and I just end up with dead cards against a specific deck, or semi-dead, not as good cards, and I know I have better cards in my deck. Being able to not only filter those out, but as someone put in the comments here, actually weaponize them, take a dead card and make it essentially do something, I think is really good. Yeah. But we'll see, I guess, when it...
They also noted this doesn't target, so it bypasses all the barrier nonsense.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what the heck? You guys get out of here. This is super strong.
Actually, I didn't know it didn't target.
Yeah.
So
that's really good.
Because Oscar has trouble with Gil and stuff.
Yeah, no, I have so much issues. This is, it's straight up Rune deck. 100%. No question. I'll dump my hand to kill Gil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I read
this?
That's
a lot of what some other people said. Yes, you read it.
Zeus lent Alice divine power, turning her into a sublime being.
Sublime. Okay, so is
Joey.
Genshi next?
Yeah.
Genshi Tensen, God of Flame. Oh, he looks awesome. He is a 3-cost, red, 1 blue, 800, 1 Void Oxen. 800, High God. Enter, gain a Dragon Emblem, or Dragon Emblem Fire, Dragon Emblem Water.
I was about to say.
If your jailer is Fushi or Fushi, King of Kunlun, gain both instead.
Oh, a reason for Fushi.
As long as you control the Dragon Emblem Fire, this card gains. If a fire source you control would deal damage, it deals that much plus 400 instead. That's tight. As long as you control a Dragon Emblem Water, this card gains at the end of your turn, draw a card. Oh, that's pretty tight.
I think it's a good card. I like it. If there is a way to play blue instead of a Fuji, that's not some, everybody's all like, dual card stones, right? If there's a way to actually play this now, like, that's actually really good. Like, I'm already thinking like that fire source, like Sandstorm, like, instead of flipping for 2, it's flipping for 6.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it's any fire source. So if you have a resonator that's doing damage, if you have a chant, if you have a rune, if you have a ruler, or anything like
Sandstorm for 6 is gross.
Yeah, Sandstorm for 6. Being able to do the other sand one that does 800 to the board, so now it does 1400, basically wipes almost every resonator in existence off the board, becomes a guaranteed board wipe that doesn't target. I think it's super good. And then in addition to that, inside of Fuji, you're like, also, pass turn, draw a card. Nice.
Yeah, drawing a card is actually tight. The first ability is pretty tight.
Joey's
we don't know how you get Dragon Vermilion, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah?
That was on Lord of Vermilion. Yeah, we read that one already.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. See, I don't remember what the other cards do, so, like, this could be even better. I don't remember how it synergizes with your other
Also, what's a Dragon Emblem? How do you keep track of Dragon Emblems? Like,
it's probably like gems. You just find a way to do it.
Yeah.
A real quick read. Lord of Vermilion had enter ability. If you control a fire one and a blue one, you gain the Vermilion one.
Oh, right.
Okay. So, I mean, there's definitely other, because there's 3 Dragon Emblems, right? Or is there only 2?
There's 3. There's Dragon Emblem, Fire, Water, and Vermilion.
Oh, it's called Dragon Emblem Vermilion. So, I mean, there's got to be other stuff. Because it'd be...
This buffs Vermilion's burn thing it has.
Yeah, I figured. I remember. Yeah.
So I assume
I remember he has some awesome stuff too.
I assume there'll be other cards that do produce dragon emblems and stuff, because it'd be super stupid if there's all these cards that synergize with it, but there's only Genshi that actually produces it.
I feel like Genshi's gonna be the only person who.
I think so.
That would be so dumb. They introduce an entirely new mechanic.
Like, if you go through and count them all, I think we're at 35 cards spoiled, and there's already 6 artworks we've seen, which says to 41 to 42, which we already know there's going to be some common or uncommon ones that are going to be printed. So I think that's real tight space. Like,
Moon Edition's got, like, what, 3 different themes that produce Moon Editions at minimum?
No, there's only, well, yes, if you count Isis.
Yes, I would count the theme that produces Moon Editions as one of the Moon Edition producers.
He produces Dragon Emblems, and the Vermilion dude produces Dragon Emblems.
Yeah. The Vermilion dude produces Dragon Emblems?
He produces Dragon Emblem Vermilion.
Oh my god.
My point is,
I hate you guys so much.
He
produces Dragon Emblem Vermilion. Oh, how does he do that? Guys, how does he produce Dragon Emblem Vermilion? I'm curious.
Iris can only produce a moon if she gets Nyar, so it's like, oh, how does she produce it? It's like the same scenario.
No, it is not the same scenario. So it's literally, here's these 3 dragon emblems. How do you produce them? Well, you have one resonator that produces these 2. What produces the other 3? Oh, this one. How does it produce it? Well, by this other one being on the field. It's like, there better be something else. If not, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's super cool mechanics and stuff like that, but this is so dumb.
I agree with Colin Moore, but I will say that this is Fushi we're talking about. He's not going to get anything.
There should be a rune or something like what Isis got. That's just like, hey, choose one of these, produce that. There should be a rune or a chant or something.
Yeah,
like
you're probably right.
There should be, but I do think it's done.
I guess they said there's going to be some commons and uncommons that aren't reprints, and that could easily be an uncommon rune. Like, flip this, produce red or blue dragon emblem, and that just a generic thing. Like that.
It'll be the one dumb card. It's like, pay 5 and do it.
Oh my god!
If you have multiple Genshis, their abilities stack on top of each other.
It's gonna be 3 costs on Oscar, and if you control Fuji, pay 1 more. Because they hate Fuji.
Okay.
Flavor?
No, yeah. Can you imagine like having 2 or 3 in play and just like drawing 3 cards at the end of every turn?
That would be hilarious. Or flipping Sandstorm and doing 69 to their
1,000 damage. Like, you really only need 2 Genshis to deal 1,000 damage on Sandstorm. Like, that's pretty nasty. The gods might take the form of a dragon. Riding it, he soars over the land of Valhalla. Oh,
if the gods can take the form of a dragon, then why doesn't Genshin be a high god / dragon and make Fuji like a legit? If this was / dragon, Fuji would be a legit deck. I think Fuji
would be pretty tight. That'd be so tight. Oh.
Right? It just literally the flavor says the high gods can maybe take the form of a dragon, but not the one that would probably be super good in the form of a dragon inside it. It would make Fuji viable.
Colin hates busted cards, but only sometimes. You
can put a busted card in a stupid deck that might make the card average. I think that's perfect. If the busted part has the condition of you're running Fuji, you're fine. You're fine. It's not busted.
Okay.
Next up.
It's funny that these next 2 cards are going to land exactly how we wanted them to. Yeah, Oscar.
All right, we have Neo Ragnarok. 2 blue, 7 void, divinity, infinity, chant / rune.
What?
You may pay 7 void less to play this card from a rune area.
What?
You may put any number of giant resonators with different names from outside the game into the field.
So listen, before we even get to the next one, I just want to, so we can focus on the giant part.
I just want to read this comment here. I thought it was hilarious. It says, "So this is absolutely stupid broken."
Oh
yeah.
By calling to it. Yeah. No, it is. It's I don't care. I literally don't care what anyone says. This is stupid. This is literally the type of thing. Even if people are like, man, maybe it won't be competitive because I could counter it with, I don't know, Hanzo Master Rune. Yeah. I don't care, because if you know what's gonna happen, we'll talk about it in a sec. But like, I'm gonna be like, "Hi, I'm Jimmy. I'm really excited for Force Will. This is my first day. Go to my locals." And person go back, "I'm gonna play this." And come. And person like, "Oh, cool. Glad I knew that before I bought product. On to the next game." like what happened at our pre-release with time distortion. But it...
Yeah. He always gets it backwards.
What is it?
Distortion
of time.
Whatever. But the giant. What I was going to say is talking about the giant specifically. So we have 3 revealed. We don't know what the other 2 are. Hopefully they're not super strong, but we know of one giant that has swiftness, one that destroys, etc., and gains life, etc. There's also Surtur, which is a giant, and he's what is he? 17/17, and whenever damage dealt to him, you get to search for a 3-cost sand resonator in your deck and put it into the field. So you just put a bunch of sand resonators in your deck. And there's also just sort of an average giant that's like an 8/8 that when it's targeted by a spell you banish it, something like that. But it's it's something. So you just put these all in your side deck. They don't go in your main deck. You just put them in your side deck, and you pay 2 to play this, and it goes.
To comment though, real quick, and you could blame it to, I don't know, maybe artist communication or whatever, but none of the giants in the picture are ones we've seen yet. Like, what if it's just 4 brand new giants we haven't seen?
We only have 2 giants left, don't we?
Yeah, based on attribute cards.
And there's 3 in here.
Question. Okay, so the first time I read this, I read it as you put 1 of each giant. Is that right? It says you may put any number of giant resonators with different names. So that means that you only put 1 of each.
Sorry.
Got it. Okay.
So as of right now, once they reveal the other 2, you'll be able to put 7 giants into the field.
Yeah.
That are all,
and those,
with the exception of 1, are all above the 1500 stat line or around there.
Yeah, no, they all the giants are actually fairly busted.
And I like this comment though that has 7 likes. Is I have several questions, most of which end in the fuck.
Before we get too much further, we should probably go to Perfect Loki.
Yeah. Well, who's up first?
Oscar, read the hold on. Oscar, read the tagline.
My completion is only just beginning. Perfect Loki.
Okay.
I
do really like the flavor of Loki and giants, and he's a giant. Like, that's pretty cool though.
Yep, that's what they're about over there.
So, is that Colin?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Perfect. I did not notice this was quick cast. Perfect Loki. This is a black blue 8/100 quick cast. High God. This card gains 0+100 for each card in your graveyard. Enter. J resonators your opponent controls gain -1,000 X 100 defense until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. Keep in mind there's a 1-cost black rune card that discards 10 cards into the graveyard of your deck. As your J-Ruler enters the field, if it's Loki and you spent Black Will to do Judgment, Fenrir, if you remember, is a resonator that you can discard it to produce a Black Will to do Judgment. You may reveal this card from your hand and put it into the field on top of your J-Ruler. If you do, this card becomes a J-Ruler and gains Imperishable and Divinity Infinity. Enter. Look at the top 10 cards of your deck. Put 1 from among them into your hand and the rest in your graveyard. And once per turn, you may play a card from your graveyard. And you can order this, I believe, so the second enter ability happens first before the other enter ability triggers. So you can have more cards in your graveyard to give their defenses minus.
Nah.
Yeah, because both enters would trigger simultaneously, so you controller chooses order, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I could be wrong if a judge wants to clarify, but last I remember, that's how it works.
I'm pretty sure you're right. You get to order those.
And then
you
also
get to order the entry abilities in whichever way you want, which the obvious one is the first way, like Colin was saying.
So let's go through this, because there's a whole tree of things as we go through. Real quick, side question. Hopefully this gets resolved in the CR, but for me personally, this is confusing because she says they gain Divinity Infinity and Neo Ragnarok has Divinity Infinity. Does that mean the Divinity is fully met with Ragnarok? Because mathematically, it should not be. That Infinity does not actually fill Infinity mathematically. So depending on if they're going by flavor, that should not actually fill Infinity. You should be able to still go, even though this is Infinity. That's why Infinity is such a weird term to use, and I did not like that they used that, because it seemed like a super lazy way to explain. If they're trying to just fill the Divinity, That's not a good way to do it. It should be, why not just say 50 divinity, and then the Neo Ragnarok is 50 divinity. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Oh yeah.
So infinity implies you can do other stuff.
Wouldn't it work in a situation where you played all the other runes but that one, and then play that one when this is flipped? Because then it just fills the rest of it.
So I
That should
see
work.
what
Yeah, what Oscar just... If I'm incorrect, what Oscar said should 100% be correct.
Well, you should be able to play any number of all your runes.
You should be able to play all the runes, including Ragnarok.
Yeah.
If it's anything other than that, either my scenario or Oscar's scenario, they straight up just don't understand what the word infinity means.
Yeah, it could be something like that. I don't know how that works. I'm not a mathematician. None of us I seem to remember that infinity, adding on stuff on infinity still makes it infinity, so it won't matter if you have extra runes.
Like, there's no cap to infinity, so even
Right.
if you put infinity on infinity, it still didn't end.
Yeah.
So there's room to put more stuff.
Adding infinity to infinity is still going to be infinity, so you should never hit that cap.
Subtracting infinity
I'm
from
pretty sure
infinity is
Colin's-
still infinity, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Colin's right. I have no idea though. It's very interesting.
So that out of the way, let's go line by line. I mean, at least it has 100 defense, so we'll throw that out there.
No.
Oh right, yeah, it gains. Never mind.
It was a fuck
I
ton
don't
of
know what I'm
defense.
talking. I don't know what I'm talking about. So that aside, it has quick cast. I didn't notice that before. So why? Why does this have quick cast? There's zero reason for this to have quick cast. You can literally, outside of replacing your ruler, play this in response to stuff. Your response to your opponent playing something in order to kill it with its ability.
Oh yeah, So I'll weigh in. This card's broken.
It targets J rulers. I missed that also. It can kill J rulers.
It's insane. It's the stupid. I think, like, don't make it a resonator. Why did they make it a resonator?
Yeah. Why? Okay.
Why?
Well, okay. Oh,
Why did
Joyce.
they put-
I like that Joyce. Actually, starting at the top. Cool. At the
Like,
resonator
okay.
attribute.
It's
Yeah.
a
No,
resonator,
I agree.
It's quick cast. It's
What?
800 attack.
It's like Lorite.
It's got
Why
a
are you
fuck ton
attaching a
of
body to this?
defense? It board wipes everything. It like you just need to play the game for like 5 minutes and then
Oh, I'm
all of a
stupid.
sudden you do -0, minus
You're-
1,000 to
All right,
your entire board.
You're right, Joey. I'm super stupid. For some reason, I was thinking it was just like one thing got minus defense. This is a
No, everything.
this is a board wipe for
Yeah.
two.
Question: Does this on top of the J ruler no longer become a resonator? Is it a J ruler now?
No.
No,
J-
it's still resonator.
No. It's a J slash.
Oh, wait.
It's a J dash ruler. If you do this card,
Yeah,
it becomes a J.
Yeah, it becomes a J, so it's no longer a resonator. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Um.
Oscar,
okay.
you're going ahead. We're still in the resonator attribute line, Oscar.
So
That's right, I was too.
the only bad part about this is that you have to play Loki. Which I don't think Loki is that
you
good.
don't actually have to for this to be good. Those
yeah,
first
no,
two
I
effects
agree
are
with that.
plenty good. No, I think
I agree with that too.
we'll get to why playing Loki is perfectly fine. But yeah, I didn't realize this was a board wipe. So that alone is already derp. But
Okay.
so go through those two lines.
I'm gonna type a quick question into our chat to ask you guys.
Do it in the Discord.
I know I am.
Okay. But what I was gonna say was, so we go through those two lines. Okay, so as your J ruler enters the field, so you have to spend the black will. Not a big deal.
So hold on. What Fenrir gave you Black Will? I forgot about that card.
The new
until you just
Fenrir.
mentioned
So it's a Bill resonator that. Yeah, you want it actually is
remove
really
this
good.
card in
Oh,
your hand
shoot.
game. Produce black. Spend this will only to do judgment card for judgment of cards named Loki.
You know what's great is you run a playset of these because what's this other effect, Oscar?
The first one says when this card is put into the graveyard from your deck, put it into your hand. If your J ruler is perfect Loki, put this card into the field.
So
instead.
you discard your top 10 cards and you discard into Fenrir.
And Fenrir goes into the field if perfect Loki is your J ruler. So and then also it's like, okay, so you're getting all this crazy stuff from perfect Loki. Well, at least it doesn't have imperishable. Oh wait, it has freaking imperishable now, I guess. Which hopefully the CR, because people were asking this as of right now, how this works. you don't need another Perfect Loki because this would flip over and flip back into Perfect Loki if you Judgment again, unless the CR says something different. From what I saw at least, I think one judge or former judge.
I think you're right. Yeah, that sounds like how it works.
And then we already talked about how Divinity Affinity works, might work and stuff like that. So you should still be able to play as many runes as you possibly want, in addition to the Giants one. And here's the thing. When we talk about the other artifact, here's the thing that a lot of people are glossing over. You can play a card from your graveyard once per turn after discard. No. That's insane. Oscar was just talking about like, oh, you can do stuff like if you want to, not that you necessarily need to in this deck, but you could have the altar combo, discard Leila, and you could pay 1 and bring her back into the field to discard her again. And I was saying then on top of that, you could do the 1 card to bring her out one more time, and then wait till next and discard her again and wait till next turn to bring her out again. Or you could do that with Athena and have Athena enter, discard, enter, discard, enter, discard.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Like you look at his deck, like Brunhild Altar works great, and it's white-black. There's no reason why a Loki Altar deck can't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if it's a primarily black deck that has some blue in it, it's just going to gain use. Like, people want to get rid of some of the stuff in your field in an Altar deck already, and now you're like, cool, I'm judgmenting, and if I don't get Giants off, I'm pulling some of the stuff I've already been playing out of my graveyard back into the field. So I have an alternative way of playing this game.
Yeah, and so basically, let's say you have Energize, turn 3, you can potentially Judgment and play the Giants card and put the Giants in the field. And because Perfect Loki is a Darkness Resonator, so you turn 1 or 2 or whenever, you can use, Freed from the Altar or whatever, to search your deck for a Darkness Resonator and put it into your hand. So, and there's another Darkness rune that searches your deck for a Resonator, put it in your hand, and one that searches for a card and puts it in your hand. And so you're always going to have Perfect Loki in your hand. There's no scenario where you don't have it in your hand to pull the combo off. And obviously, Neo Ragnarok's in your rune. So literally the only thing, I think this is going to be one of the main. This is going to be a crazy deck, and the only real counter to it is Hanzo.
I wouldn't go that far. I will say.
I guess we have to wait for the other 2 Giants, but yeah.
If there's just. If this card was crap, unless it turned into your J Ruler, I think that would be more balanced. But like, let's say you try and like have them discard this card, right? You play Thought Control or something. It's like you can just play this Perfect Loki onto the field, and he's a beast. Like, he enters and he does -0, minus 800 or minus 600 or however much you filled your graveyard. Like. And the deck is going to function really, really well without any of that nonsense that, there's like a handful of ways to stop this combo, and all of them kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except for the Master Rune. But like, okay, so you use your Master Rune, you countered the Giants coming in. He's still possibly got Fenrir on the field. He's still playing once per turn. He's playing a card from his graveyard. He drew a card from his enter ability. He is an 800, at least 1,000 defense J Ruler just because of his first enter ability. That's on top of all the other 9+ cards that you put in your graveyard. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I think Black Green Hanzo or Black Green Gil are definitely going to need to start mainboarding Evil Elemental Uprising just to answer some of that stuff.
Yeah.
At least that defense portion of it.
Like, you get to play more Perfect Loki. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like you play Perfect Loki and you're done. You just play them onto the board and you keep board wiping them.
And even at that, Evil Elemental Uprising is only around for a couple months after this comes out. So, hey.
And this is part of the couple months part, but like, I wonder if during that time Gil will be a better option than Hanzo is until then, since you're like, oh, you keep board wiping them. It's like, cool, Gil doesn't really have a board almost ever.
Gil,
so like, you're not really board wiping anything.
Gil has a lot of. I feel like Gil would have a lot of issues stopping.
Yeah, if you can kill the Judgmented Gil, which this can, that's a big deal, I think.
This can. I thought it target. I didn't read it.
No,
this isn't
it's just a field buff thing, which is super. Okay. Once again, doesn't target, so this can get rid of Gil and the Gil Resonator if that's a problem and stuff like that. So I think this is a 100%. I don't know if it's. We'll have to wait and see. But the fact that it can kill the Judgmented Gil is for 2 is I think a big deal.
So I guess if they play, obviously there's this. Oh, they do this, but they play right. They can just stop that ability from really hurting them.
Yeah, they can Lorite. They can only Lorite one of the.
No, they just respond to it with Evil Elemental Uprising, and it doesn't minus their field.
Oh yeah. I guess you could Evil Elemental Uprising.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of crossplay. I just my issue with this is that this is one part of the deck that is going to be a giant threat, and the whole other part of the deck is going to be another giant threat.
Oh yeah. A giant threat.
Oh, I get a giant threat. Yeah. I was not pun unintended, but like, just this card is just so good on its own. Like, why would they make that this good?
Yeah.
Like, you can't have a 2-cost -0 -X100 board wipe on
it's
2.
like, why do they keep going? Like, it's the problem I've had with every single card. It's like, hey, the card's pretty good. Oh, it's really good. You can stop now. Wait, no, you can stop now. No, seriously, you could. They just keep adding stuff to it. It's like, no, why? This was perfectly okay before, and they keep going. And especially with this set, if you guys have noticed, I noticed this. If you go through the spoilers, all these cards have paragraph text. All of the cards. I feel like someone went and played Yu-Gi-Oh at some point and was like, hey, Yu-Gi-Oh has blocks of text, and their cards are super strong. We should try that.
I've heard Colin say it so many times.
Yeah, it's because I hate what modern Yu-Gi-Oh is. But flavor text, you must bear witness as the powerless versus the gods. All right.
I think it's a pretty cool card. It's so broken. Like,
there's potential for it to be cool. Like, there's cool mechanics that we've seen, especially like the Alice one, where it's like, okay, it has this broken thing that's stupid, and hopefully the CR fixes that. If not, at least rotation will fix that. This is just like what might have been a cool mechanic, but it's just so drowned out by like it's too strong of stuff, I think.
Yeah.
This should have been like 3 different cards.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Next.
Personally, not okay. The final act. That's mine, right?
Yeah.
The final act, 3 costs, Divinity 2, Chant/Root. You may pay 2 less to play this card if you control Deus Ex Machina, God of Machines.
Ooh.
As an additional cost to play this card, remove any number of counters from entities you control. Destroy target non-magic stone, non-machine entity with total cost equal to the number of counters removed this way.
So this is pretty cool. I like it in machines.
I don't like it.
I like it because it's just a 1-cost destroy a J ruler if you need to in your back pocket, or 1-cost destroy that addition or resonator or whatever is bothering you. You remove 3 or 4 counters at max probably, and you just get to destroy something for 1 will. I think that's a nice thing just to have maybe in your rune deck in your back pocket.
I guess with Deus Ex Machina, you won't have too much trouble getting a bunch of counters, but it's like just like -3 counters to, destroy like a 3-cost resonator. How does destroying a J ruler count? Are J rulers
however much it costs to judgment?
That's their total cost?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Okay.
Yeah. So like Loki, you destroy for 3, and then it would come back because it has imperishable. But yeah, it could destroy everything except for magic stones. Yeah, and machines. So if it's a mirror match, you're kind of screwed.
This says this one of these comments says J rulers are treated as total cost 0. I don't know if that's.
No, not last time there was a ruling about this. It was the judgment cost, unless I guess that might have been a while ago. So maybe there was a CR change. But last I remember, the judgment cost was what was considered, because they're not treated like tokens.
I don't know.
But yeah,
we'll see. Interesting stuff that we've seen tonight. Again, make sure to check out Happy Little Hook Factory. We're also at 36 out of 40 cards they said we would get, and then we still have 9 artworks they uploaded that they haven't shown yet. So that's potentially 10 more cards. So that's what, 46. So it kind of shows you what possibly could be common and uncommon stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Ooh.